Hey, welcome to the podcast. Big one for you today.
He's back,
Yes,
Swanee.
indeed, he's back. The big fella is back, and we are so thrilled.
Great to be back, Swanee. We had fun today, didn't we? We had a bit of a laugh. Cripper, we celebrated. Cripper sounds like he's been out for about 3 days. But
praise
why
for
wouldn't you
Cripper.
celebrate after winning the Brownlow medal and a fantastic count, Samuel?
Very impressive.
It was very exciting, and Josh Gibson also joined us to talk about a new horse-related documentary. But of course, there's
Kicked 8 on Gibbo one night.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
John.
you waited till he left the studio. There's some podcast exclusivity. He didn't mention that when he was in the studio.
know.
Why didn't you do that?
I'm modest.
You should have told us. We could have stacked on.
Shit.
Damn it.
I talked about the magic pot.
Right on. Also, Mystic Chrissie's back with out-of-this-world results.
Out of this world. It's going to knock your socks off.
Bit more raw stuff. Nova's just sent Smallsy over, so well done for that. That's good.
Has there been a lot of stories come out of the... because a lot of people over in... I've obviously been off the radar for the last 2 weeks. I haven't been following the news, but I presume a lot of people have been over there covering the big stories.
Yeah, you're
Everyone
right to
is.
assume that. I just think the bit I would correct you on is that there's no stories there.
Well, let's
There's no
put it this way.
stories.
I reckon the most clicks that any stories have got have been about the reporters that are there, not the stories. So I think Tracy Grimshaw got very upset
yes.
after viewing the body. That was a huge story. And Carl Stefanovic had breakfast with, who's that awful guy, Piers Morgan?
Oh, yeah.
And that was also a story.
Hey,
Jeez.
enjoyed the podcast.
Questionable.
Chrissie, Sam, and Brownie.
The podcast.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the microphone. We've missed you so much, Jonathan Brown.
Thank you, Christine Swan. Dino.
Big dog.
You beautiful man.
You son of a bitch.
It's good to be back, everyone. I know
You
how
son
we
of a
start.
bitch. Have
Obviously,
some respect.
yes. If you're just listening for the first time, I've been away. My dear mother passed away a couple of weeks ago. Suddenly, unexpectedly, she's only 62 years old. What a beautiful woman she was. It's taken for granted sometimes, Swanee, but
Sure is.
when all the photos went up of the montage of the funeral last Thursday, which you were all at, it was amazing to see all the familiar faces there. It was beautiful. So it's great to be back there. I need some normal in my life.
Yes.
I feel like Jackie Charles summed up well this morning. He goes, do you feel like you've been in the washing machine for the last 2 weeks? Absolutely, I do. So
Hey.
thank you to everyone.
We're glad you're back.
Yeah.
We're going to put you on the air. We're going to put you in front of the fireplace and really dry you out.
The funeral was beautiful, man. The church was like overflowing. The sun was out.
Oh, shit, yeah. Well, it was supposed to be raining, and she just turned on a beautiful blue sky last Thursday in Koroit, little old town of Koroit, about 1,000 people. And then I loved it because Swanee was... a few people came up to me in the morning of the funeral and said, I reckon Chrissy Swan's in town. There's this lady just trawling the streets of Koroit
Daily Mail.
with a backpack on. I said, yeah, that'd be Swanee.
That's me.
So, but it's good to be back. And thanks everyone that's listening at the moment. Thanks everyone for the well wish. A lot of people have reached out on Insta, Swanee, and a lot of support's been great. So the family's really felt that.
Absolutely. Everybody is holding you in
Yeah.
their thoughts, JB.
And we're going to get on and we're going to have a good show. We're going to have a good week. So it's grand final week.
Not much has happened since you left, bro, especially not in England.
Chrissie, Sam, and Brownie.
How good is exploring our amazing backyard again?
And ticking off all Aussie big things. Pineapples, bananas, melons.
That's making me hungry.
Head to whatif.com and start planning your big Aussie adventure.
What if it's Aussie for travel?
Big John is back.
Magnificent.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Shaq.
Warm up those pipes, Swanee.
Zack and Footy.
That's right, Brownlow medal last night, and yeah, they can be boring nights, Swanee. I've had a couple of big nights there, but it can be boring if you watch on TV. But last night was generally interesting to watch because there was a lot of live chances late, so they came back for the last 3 rounds. It was funny because no one was sitting down, well, a lot of people come back from the toilets. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, Swanee, if you come back from the ad break,
Yeah.
it's probably similar to Logies, I
Yes,
guess.
it is.
If you're not in the door,
It's
before the door's
shut.
closed
You
shut,
miss it.
you're locked out. So if you're not in there for the start of round
Which
21...
sometimes is a merciful situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, because you go round 21, round 22, round 23, then the winner's speech. So it can be a long time, Swanee. You can be a long time locked in the foyer, or if you haven't made the dash before round 21, you're going to be hanging on to that wee
Timing.
for the best part of an hour.
Timing's important.
But it got down round 23. It was a ripper. So there's live chance. I think 4 could still win it. Cripps, Lockie Neal from Brisbane, Took Miller from the Gold Coast, and Andrew Brayshaw. I'm not sure about Clayton Oliver, but could all win it coming to the last round, which was amazing. And then who was it got the lead? Was it Took Miller?
No, it was
or
Lockie.
Lockie Neal.
Lockie by a point.
Lockie Neal had got a vote, so he was a vote up. The last round, the last game of the year was Collingwood Carlton, the MCG, and famously Collingwood got over the line by a point.
Yes.
Cripper needed votes to get over the line. So first vote was one vote, then second vote, no P. Cripps at that stage. And I was watching on the couch at home with Liv, who's a mad Carlton supporter, and she was cheering for Cripper the whole time. And she turned him and she goes, Dad, because she went to the game with Kylie, she goes, Dad, he played a ripper. I go, they lost. And she goes, doesn't matter. He played a ripper. He dominated. He nearly got him home single-handedly. And I said, okay. And then
So
next
she's
minute,
demanding a recount.
demanding
at
a
this stage.
recount. No.
No.
3 votes to go. And then, of course, Gillan McLaughlin goes, 3 votes. P. Cripps.
Bang.
And there it was. So it was
There it
exciting.
was.
It was a great finish. So Cripper had 29 votes, Lockie Neal 28, Took Miller 27, Andrew Brayshaw, who had a couple of little bucks on Swanee, 25 from Fremantle, and Clayton Oliver 25. So there was 4 guys that were right up there at the end, and Petrarca was 24, which is good.
That's
so
pretty good.
they were taking votes off each other, the 2 Melbourne boys.
That's annoying when that happens.
Yes.
Yeah. The headline writers, the subbies at Herald Sun, would be thrilled with Patrick Cripps winning because you little Cripper.
Oh.
I mean, it writes itself.
Yes, it does.
It writes itself.
I hope it's on
You
the...
Crip snorter.
I've got
What else you got?
Oh, yeah, it has to. There you go, Swanee.
it.
Top of the Herald Sun.
You
Front
Cripper.
page, you Cripper. Yeah, you read that a mile away.
Bloody Cripper.
Did you see in the...
And the age has gone, you little Cripper.
Yeah,
So
see?
Herald Sun, you Cripper.
They can't help themselves.
The traditional big chat after they win, the person's up there with the champers. Did you notice Hamish McLaughlin's playful clip to Fev?
Yes, I did do. Just
what
slid it
was
in
it?
there. He goes, well, Carlton Knights are sort of renowned for some extra...
Loose units.
Loose units, especially from Carlton.
One in particular.
Namely a famous Carlton goal kicker a few years ago. Just a little... And then, of course, I'm going to mention this guy's name. QC Christopher Townsend, who got Cripper off after the round 21 game. And he was
Got him off,
reported
Swan.
against the Brisbane Lions, and it looked like Cripper was going to be out because if you get suspended, Swanee, ineligible to
That's
win
it.
the Brownlow.
Yes.
And of course, he got suspended, and then Christopher Townsend came in, a.k.a. Dennis Denudo.
Whoa.
And that got referenced by... It shows the castle is ageing a bit, or certainly around a long time ago, because... Hamish McLaughlin cleverly, who's the MC, made the reference to Dennis Denudo, got you off a few weeks ago, and went straight over Cripper's head. Oh. And I mentioned that to Jack Charles. I said, I reckon Cripper's missed the Dennis Denudo reference. And he goes, yeah, I missed it as well.
Right.
Well, it's not that long ago.
It's not that long ago, the 90s. It was the 90s.
It's 30 years ago, guys.
30
Sorry.
years
Oh, no.
It's a long time. It's
And Pang
basically
hasn't
gone with
watched
the
it
wind.
either.
Yeah, it's true. And also, just one last shout out to the Armour Guard buff men that brought in the votes.
Yes.
Every year.
Yeah.
They guard it like...
Also with the Logies.
the same people,
Yeah,
I'm
the
sure.
same people.
I
Yeah.
just want to clarify this because now Hamish McLaughlin was on our podcast the other day, which I listened to. Well done, Dino.
Thank
and
you.
he's adamant that he doesn't know the results. And I was like, really? At the moment, the last couple of days, Shane Woden,
Yes.
who won the Brownlow in 2000, himself and his wife and kids have been staying at our place the last couple of nights. Well, I asked Wowie, on the night, did you get a feeling? And he goes, no, not until the round 20. Still 3 rounds to go. And he's still a lot of chances. He said all of a sudden, 6 cameramen were parked at my table.
Interesting.
Hey, they know.
Conspiracy.
They know.
Illuminati.
They know, Swanee. So the old Armour Guard people coming in with the votes. Come on.
They look like 80s wrestlers.
They do look like
They look
80s
like
wrestlers.
swingers.
Actually, that's true because when I was up for the gold Logie, when it was about to be announced, there was 1 camera on me and 6 on Carl.
Ah.
So maybe they do know.
They know, Swanee.
Mystic Armour Guard people.
Well done to Cripper.
Yep.
I didn't even realise too. He also said in the interview, Swanee, he was scared of talking to the media and used to have a stutter. Up at, while he was playing at Carlton, he did everything to avoid talking to the media.
Really? Well,
so he went to a speech pathologist for 6 years.
Very
6 months.
interesting. We'll see how that's worked because he's going to be on our show in about 20 minutes.
He's going to be hung.
This is the Chrissie, Sam and Brownie podcast.
That's true.
Good point.
A friend of mine is in London and sent through some photographs a few minutes ago. It's a beautiful, crisp, shining morning there. And Lucy McDonald joins us live from London. She's the project's royal correspondent. Welcome to the show again, Lucy.
Hi there.
How is the feeling and sentiment this morning in London?
Well, it's the night before. It's 9:30 here in the evening in London. So tomorrow morning we will be waking up, and it'll be the day of the funeral. So it feels very. There was a 1 minute silence earlier on this evening. All the dignitaries, I think it's the biggest concentration of world leaders ever at Buckingham Palace tonight for a big reception hosted by King Charles. But of course, all thoughts and all eyes on tomorrow and the funeral.
Lucy, you speak about those world leaders. You've got the King of Spain there, the Prince of Monaco, the Emperor of Japan, President of France. You've got the Prime Minister of New Zealand. Some big names. Where does the Prime Minister of Australia, Anthony Albanese, rate in the dignitaries?
I don't know. I don't know if they do a seating plan about where they work out where people are going to sit or not.
Lucy, if he has shit seats, you can tell us.
I don't have that kind of insider information, but I do think that that he will be at a ceremony that Joe Biden won't be at. Because it's for Commonwealth countries only. Yeah, there you go.
Lucy, we've been watching with interest the 7 kilometre long queues of people absolutely dedicated to seeing the Queen lying in state. Has that all finished, and were there some disappointed people?
No. It's not finished. People are queuing as I speak.
Wow.
The queue hasn't been shut yet. It doesn't actually... The last people who can see the Queen lie in state in this ancient Westminster Hall, it's 6:30 tomorrow morning. The funeral starts at 11. Westminster Abbey opens at 8, which is very close by. So at 6:30, people can still see the Queen lying in state. So they haven't shut the queue now. There are still people queuing. If you were nearby, you could get in the queue and you would be able to see the Queen's coffin before it shuts. But I think the queue length is shorter than it has been for a long time, because I guess everyone thought there'd be a last-minute rush, and there hasn't been. But it's been it's been huge. 13, 14 hours at some point.
Lucy, did David Beckham, the former legendary soccer player... Was I right that I read that he lined up for 12 hours to walk past the Queen's coffin?
Yeah, absolutely. It was quite extraordinary because apparently he was offered a VIP fast track. There's been some controversy in the papers about, some television presenters have got to the front of the queue and all that kind of stuff. But Beckham was asked if he wanted it, and he was like, no, my granddad would kill me. Oh. So he wanted to do it the old-fashioned way with everybody else.
I'm ashamed to say that I would absolutely accept the VIP fast track.
I
wouldn't think about it twice.
I love the fact that they've got the Queen's people have got a fast pass.
I know.
Yes. Pass it, just like Wet and Wild up in Queensland.
I was going to reference Wet and Wild. Lucy, thank you so much for your information and your knowledge. Now, we're going to be broadcasting the Queen's funeral tonight from 8 o'clock, and also watch the project. Lucy's the correspondent for the UK. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Ever wondered what happens in the studio? Check out Chrissie, Sam and Brownie on Instagram.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie on Over 100. JB is back, and Jackie just said has not been to bed, this next guest.
We welcome the latest Brownlow medal winner, Patrick Cripps.
How are you guys?
Oh.
How are you, mate?
I've been better, but no, we're good. We're good.
Okay, who are the last culprits that you were standing at the bar with or in a hotel room somewhere?
Tommy Mitchell was there. I had my family, my manager, Matty Bain. So, it was a fun night. But yeah, they all calmed down now, and wants to do a bit of media to finish off, which is always good.
Yeah, you'll be right, mate. You'll get to bed about 4 o'clock this arvo. Now, Cripper, my daughter, who you know, Olivia, she's a massive fan of you. Actually, she's got Cripper's poster up in her bedroom. She was adamant that coming to round 23, I was worried because I was cheering for you as well, mate, but I was worried because you got knocked over by Collingwood. She was at the game and she said, Dad, I'm telling you, Cripper will get the votes. He dominated. I said, you've lost. And she goes, no, it doesn't matter. He'll get the votes. Were you as confident as Olivia with 3 votes remaining, the last vote of the last round?
Well, there was a medal presented for the Peter Max, so I got the medal. So if I didn't get the 3, I'd have been pretty flat, to be honest. It was always one of those things, like it's going to the last round. There's a lot of cameras around our table, so I thought worst case I might have been a draw, best case I was going to win. So, it was a pretty special finish, to be honest.
From someone who's essentially on the outside of football, you are really the face of Carlton Football Club. For me, did you see Titus O'Reilly's post on Instagram? It made me laugh. I don't know if you're a Catholic boy, Patrick Cripps, but there's that famous story of the set of footprints on the sand and Jesus saying, and someone saying, why did you abandon me in my hardest time? And Jesus said, when you only see one set of footprints, that was when I carried you. In Titus's post, it says they asked Cripps why he abandoned them. And you say to the Carlton Football Club, when you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. Now my shoulders are pretty stuffed, actually. Is there much truth to that fable?
I spent a long 9 years.
Yes, Cripper.
I'm only joking. To be honest, I'm a Catholic boy. I went to a Catholic school back in Perth, but...
So you know that fable. It just made me laugh this morning.
To be honest, I couldn't tell you that I know that, but I still claim that I'm a Catholic.
Cripper, true or false? At Crown last night, you had a hot streak on this one pokey machine. So when you went to the toilet, you just reserved it by hanging your Brownlow on it.
Cashed in big time.
Yes.
Cripper, round 21, controversial. You played against my boys, the Brisbane Lions. Now, back me up here, guys. I was staunch that Cripper should get off. Which you eventually did, but geez, it was a long legal process, mate. Christopher Townsend, the QC, represented you. He was compared to the great Dennis Tenuto, of course, the famous lawyer out of the castle. Now, when Hamish McLaughlin made that reference last night in your acceptance speech or the acceptance interview, it seemed like that reference went over your head. Now, am I getting old, mate, or did you just not react to that reference of the castle?
I don't think I clicked onto that, but throughout the whole process, when there's a collision, Brownie, which you would have been a part of a fair few times, I think it's play on.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You deserve to get off, because imagine that. Imagine if Cripper had got the 3 votes in the last 3 votes of the year, and it was ruled, had the X beside his name, was ruled ineligible.
You'd need therapy to get through that, I reckon. That would just haunt you forever.
Cripper, back to that movie, The Castle. Sam Pang has never seen it.
He has now.
Has he?
Now. Yeah, I think he was forced
Have
to
you
see
seen it,
as
Cripper?
part of a podcast.
Well, I'm a bit flat at him. He's a Carlton man. He's not here to interview me, so he needs to lift his game, I reckon.
Yeah, I know. He's a bad bloke. A lot of people don't say that enough.
No, they don't.
No, you know what we're going to do, Cripper? He's actually outside. He's got his contract. He's not allowed to come in until 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Here he is. Come on.
What's going on?
Away you go. Talk to your boy.
You got your boy.
Am I talking to the reigning Brownlow medalist?
Pangy, good to hear from you, mate.
Oh, Patrick. I am not going to lie to you. I am erect right now. Congratulations, mate.
Make 2 of us, mate.
I've missed.
Can you ask him a question instead of just making statements?
All right. Other than the sincere congratulations, and I love you, and you're a champion to the Carlton faithful. Can I have
appreciate it, mate.
For one night in the next year? Can I borrow that Brownlow just for one night?
Mate, you can borrow it whenever you want. I said last night, this time next year I'm going to be sober as a judge because we're going to be playing off in the granny.
Yes.
And you can have the Chaz, mate.
See that?
Yes.
See that? It's leadership, Brownie. He's already thinking about next year.
I like it.
I know the guys may have already asked this question, Patrick, but have you been to sleep?
No, I haven't.
Yes.
To be honest, the last thing I want to be doing is talking to you guys, but I love you that much. But I'm chatting to you.
The other last notable thing that happened from a Carlton player at the Brownlow was Fev got blind drunk and was eventually sacked by the Carlton
Quit
Football
living in
Club.
the past. We're talking to a reigning... Swanee, the reigning Brownlow medalist.
Patrick Cripps, what is your next radio engagement or public publicity?
I think I'm on to about 11 o'clock, and then after that, I think I'll be asleep for a good 18 hours, I reckon.
Have you got an interview with Monkey and the Big Fella in Warrnambool?
I wouldn't even know, to be honest.
I just
Why
hand him
would you?
I haven't been told what I'm going to do. I just get handed the phone and then just keep punching out his
That's it,
All right,
Patrick.
and go for a Bloody Mary. They're good pickups in the morning,
Yes.
mate.
They are, actually.
Self-going.
Congratulations, Captain, my captain.
Appreciate it, guys.
Cripper, we love you. Good luck today, mate.
Chrissie, Sam, and Brownie.
The podcast.
Good morning, Melbourne. Welcome to your Monday. Thrilled to report that Jonathan Brown is back behind the microphone. We've missed him so much.
Great to be back, Swanee.
And as usual, Sam Pang's here as well, I guess.
Oh, it's there's a little bit of chewed. Good morning, Melbourne.
Morning, Samuel.
Hello, John.
Are you so happy to see our friend? I am.
I was going to say I jumped into his arms today, but he jumped into mine. 'Cause
The embrace was long and cold.
It was warm and not long enough, John. Mate, I know, no jokes, mate. It's just good to see you. It was very weird to not see you for 2 weeks.
I know.
We didn't see you for 2 weeks, so it's like,
And we've deferred to our personalities of missing someone. Sam's all thrilled and bashful, and I've been cooking, and I've
Yes,
already fed
geez.
him. I've already fed Brownie this
Bloated me
morning.
up, don't worry about it.
Magnificent.
And you know what, Sam led before the embrace. Sam led with, you haven't seen me for 2 weeks and my magnificent physique.
That's ridiculous.
Arnold Schwarzenegger lining up in the Mr. Olympia contest.
They have been moving tin hither and thither.
Hey, we've got
in
a
the
new
car park.
we've got a
They
new
sound like
playlist.
strong.
All I'm saying is we've been going down to the car park and Tin has been in this area here. And then I look around and then Dino has moved it to the other side of the car park.
He was rubbing your eyes.
I just wanted to, I just wanted to quickly say, I haven't seen you since the funeral of your dear departed mother.
That's right.
And I just wanted, my highlight of the whole day was being in a church, not an environment I'm usually in or comfortable in, but the idea that, in a wonderful tribute to your greyhound training mother, you played, what the name of her dog was Modern Assassin.
Modern Assassin.
You played in the church on a VTR. You played that dog winning 2 races.
Yes.
In the church, which people just loved. There was delight and joy in everyone's eyes as they watched up in a church watching 2 greyhound races, and then your mother do the post-match interview as well. It was amazing.
It was wonderful.
I sort of thought when she was doing the interview, I thought she'd walk out from the side of the altar.
Mate,
here.
it was beautiful.
Well, at first, I reckon at first people thought, oh, Brownie's done the photo montage over the top of an old dog cave.
It did look like that, but I knew exactly where it
And
was
I just
going.
want you to say this, right, because I just want you to know that in 50 years' time, when the inevitable happens to you, because you're not immortal, I may not be there, but I've organised, as part of the montage and as part of the video package at your funeral, for this to be played.
They're off and racing in the Scottish Stuart Brolly. And bit of a lad, Mr. Boss.
We will watch that into that church. Will watch that entire race of your stupid horse, bit of a lad, missing the start by 7.
By 7.
Very good. Very good. Well done. Well done.
Hey, welcome back.
Good job.
There will be no respect here.
This is the Chrissie, Sam and Brownie podcast.
This is what happened over the weekend.
News, sport, drama and entertainment.
It's the weekend that was with Sam and Bang.
No drama for me, Swanee. We're just there's news, sport, and the other thing.
No, we actively avoid drama in this room, which I'm really here for.
There's a no drama policy on this thing.
Yes.
It's wonderful to have you back, John. I'm assuming as a a current day Fox Footy pundit.
Yes.
You watched the Brownlow last night.
I did. I watched it all. Normally, it doesn't grab me at a lot of the counts, but last night was fantastic because I think there was still 5 live chances.
Amazing.
1 or 2 rounds to go.
Patrick Cripps won the Brownlow medal. Of course, they are. The whole thing is it's named the Charles Brownlow Medal, so it's the Channel 7.
I
for
didn't
years.
know that.
Yeah, it used to be who's going to take Charlie home tonight, which was they asked that at the Logie Swanee, but it's a very different Charlie. If you know what I mean. And talking about the Charles Brownlow Medal that Patrick Cripps won, and this was him just he'd been announced and he's walking up to the stage to accept it. This is. Beautiful music.
Yeah.
We know where that music's from, don't we?
Man from Snowy River?
Untouchables. It's the Untouchables music.
What's that?
Big.
The Kevin Costner film.
Yeah.
Yes. When Malone goes down.
That's great.
Jeez.
Just
The
think
attention
everyone-
to detail
Because I
of
think
this
if
man.
anyone watching that last night, I'm a bit like you, they can get a bit dry. I don't watch it as intently as I used to, but you might be like, that's beautiful music. Well, it's from the Untouchables soundtrack.
it
It's
is.
from the great
This is
Ennio
two-
Morricone.
2 great tidbits so far.
Can you imagine when they said Crippers winning votes if they blasted this at that exact second?
I wish
Be better.
they would.
Be better.
That'd
If
be
you-
unbelievable.
If you're going to take famous things, they can not.
Absolutely.
Untouchables is great, but there are other options. Jonathan, this is what today, of course, the big day, or tonight, the big night, with the actual funeral of the
Yes.
Queen. The last 2 weeks, you've missed some. You've missed some crackers. And when I say crackers, you've missed some examples of channels sending their news reports, sending their broadcasters, sending all the presenters over to London.
Really?
And then
I've seen a couple in the background, but I didn't realise everyone sent them over.
No, they're all
Everyone.
gone, and for about a week and a half they've had nothing. Do you know what I mean?
There's no story.
As an example, we started listing things as we would look up to the screen and go, hold on, we know that we're very impressed. Buckingham Palace is behind you. But what are you talking about?
offering? All I could see in the distance was the one memory I see the distance is Grimmers was getting a few tears.
Grimmer's got very emotional after.
I don't know what it was about though.
It was about seeing, having visited the Queen. lying in
Casanova
state.
con man, I think it was.
Yeah, there was next to Buckingham Palace, there was a neighbour from hell. This is the rolling coverage, right? Was amazing to the point where they at the very least they'd grab who was it, Swanee? They'd grab Winthorpe, Battenhouse, Bartholomew, Carrying-Bush III, and he was talking to Twiffington Smythe, right? And for some of the things like they crossed Carl and Ali,
Yes.
were in London. They crossed back to rural Victoria to talk to an old bloke who went to school with Charles at Timbertop in 1962.
And I believe they asked him, the opening salve was, well, did you ever think this day would come? It's like,
What?
yes, we did think this day would come.
reasonable chance
Everybody
it's
in
gonna
the
happen.
world.
Apparently,
Yeah.
the former classmate was excited for the new monarch to rule. The other ticker tape things going across the screen. Prince Andrew to wear
Can
a
I
suit
just
at the
ask, just
funeral.
quickly, how old was she?
96.
96.
96.
There you go.
Read that again. That
Prince
headline.
Andrew.
Sorry.
This was what we looked up. Prince Andrew to wear a suit at the funeral.
That was the headline.
Big news.
Can you imagine the producers scrambling?
What about this one?
As opposed to a prison, Green.
Well, he's going to take the ankle bracelet off.
point.
I mean, he's not. It's just out of respect. Meghan Markle pauses podcast episodes. Several Australians to attend late monarch's funeral.
Several Australians. No names, just several.
Julie Bishop helped Charles buy Camilla a present once.
That was a headline.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Then meet the
While he was going out with Diana.
mate.
Probably.
Probably. Meet the man. This is where we started losing complete. Meet the man who trained the Queen's dogs. He was Dr. Roger Mugford.
Oh, I thought it was Dr. Harry.
Then Her Majesty had 11 misbehaving dogs, and by the end it was just. By the end they were out. It was in New South Wales. There's a measles alert. It was all over.
Yeah.
But this is Jackie Charles found this for me too.
It's
This
a
is,
tough job.
this was.
It was a shame I didn't read the papers.
I know. Was it Sylvia or Ali? Jackie?
Sylvia the Tease.
Sylvia Jeffries.
Sylvia Jeffries on Thursday or Friday. This is what they went to the break with.
And the Queen and her corgis. Why the monarch loved her four-legged friends so much and what you need to know if you're considering one of your own. Don't go anywhere. We're back in a moment.
If you're considering... Hey, terrible
Come
news.
on.
The monarch going over. By the way, if you want a corgi, stay tuned after this. We've got some... It's got some context for
That's
you.
unbelievable.
Oh, well. Hey, welcome back. Big
Thanks, mate.
Want to see what happens in the studio? Check it out on Facebook. Follow Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
Large John has returned to us.
Yeah.
I have, yeah. I just want to speak about, well, my beautiful mother. Obviously, if you just heard it, you probably haven't heard this for the first time, but Mum passed away Monday a week ago.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago now, isn't it? Yeah, so fortnight, walking to work. It's amazing how life changed, walking to on the couch Monday night and get the bad phone call when you get your father, missed call from your father, and 20 seconds later, missed call by his sister. You go, oh, geez, that's not good. I better answer that one. So, unfortunately, Mum passed away suddenly, so she was rushed to the Monash. The Monash staff were unbelievable because Mum was an organ donor, which, do you know that there's only 450 people in Australia and New Zealand every year are organ donors?
What?
450 people. So you can imagine they're like...
That's alarmingly low.
Yeah, alarming low. So they're like pots of gold when they do turn up in a healthy enough condition that they can donate their organs, which was beautiful comfort for our family. Swanee shows it summed up Monday, and I spoke about it in the eulogy, so I'm not going to get emotional here about it, but it was a gift. She gave the gift of life, Swanee, in her passing, so that gave us some comfort.
It's extraordinary.
So life changes 2 weeks ago. So I went out there, and obviously Mum... for the next couple of days, obviously they have to keep Mum going, and then she did that, and then obviously the next few days was a whirlwind. Really, you're trying to organise everything, and so we had the big we had the funeral last Thursday, which the cavalry arrived in town.
We all went down.
All went down. Sam, you were there. Dino, Chrissie, Jack, the whole team was down there. Different stories were coming back to me. They said, I swear I saw Chrissie Swan roaming the streets of Koroit, where Mum and Dad live, and the funeral was, and with a backpack on. I said, yeah, that'd be right, I reckon. Then Kyle's checked your Instagram. She goes, yeah, that's right. Now, Koroit has never looked so prettier than in your photo, Swanee. You managed to find the most attractive angles of Koroit.
It just takes new eyes.
New eyes.
Fresh eyes.
Fresh eyes.
I hear that, and then another mate then said to me, your mate, especially Pang, was holding court in the Irish pub at about midnight last night.
Which Irish pub? In Warrnambool?
In Warrnambool, the
No, we were in Warrnambool, Dino and Jack and myself, and because I did, right, and so we went out to dinner, and then. It didn't seem a reason to go home with a couple of young lads. So we went over to, was it Murphy's?
What's it called?
The Shanachie.
The Shanachie.
The Shanachie in Warrnambool.
I also walked around Warrnambool the morning of the funeral, got a walk in, and I walked past a restaurant called Bojangles, and I thought maybe you would still be in there wearing a hat and whistling.
I went to Bojangles after my first communion. First communion dinner. It was magnificent.
Well, we went to, not to derail your story, but we were at the Whalers, I think.
Whalers, yeah.
And then...
I knew you were at the Whalers, yeah. Word got back that you're at the Whalers as well.
Yeah.
Not much happens on a Wednesday night in Warrnambool.
Well, we walked into this place, another place called Salt, right? Of which we're pretty sure it was a speed dating night. There was all just couples, and they weren't they didn't look happy. Yeah. And so we walked straight back, and then we walked to the Irish pub. But I was thinking, Brownie...
Tony Martin's performed upstairs at the Irish pub.
Has he?
The loft is upstairs.
I just thought it was... I had a thought of being in Warrnambool. That the last 10, 20 times I've ever mentioned Warrnambool on air with you, it's usually been followed by the words, those hillbillies down there, right? I think
rednecks.
This is, and he plays the dueling banjos.
It's
and
fun.
this will be a warm reception, but it was wonderful to get down there.
It was great, yeah. And the funeral was beautiful. Went really well. I got up to do the eulogy, and it was a little bit of a shock because I didn't realise so many people were in the church.
It was packed.
Because Koroit would probably only be 1,000 people, and I reckon there was about 600 or 700 there, and you guys were down the back standing up.
Mate, Ash Gardner secured how early did you get there, Gardner? I was so jealous.
I reckon about 11 o'clock.
Mate, it was packed.
It was absolutely packed, and I remember the day before, because I went down there, I wanted to make sure the church went well, My daughter Olivia sang. It was beautiful, wasn't it, for the community? She sang Gentle Woman, which is Mum's favourite song.
It was extraordinary.
I was so proud of her, and I knew it meant a lot to Dad. So she sang beautiful, but I wanted to go down the day before to test her and just make sure she was comfortable. Because I said, there's going to be a lot of people, so when you look up, Liv, there might be a chance that you'll get really worried and you won't be able to sing. So she sang and had a bit of a practice. And as I was walking out of the church, I said to the guys, is that upstairs part going to be used? He goes, no, there's a lot of safety concerns there, OH&S, and no one's allowed there. When I stood up to do the eulogy, I looked down and I could see you, Pang, and see you, Dino. You guys are standing right under the loft. I looked up. There's 50 people packed into the
I didn't see that.
I thought, shit, we'll be back next week for your funeral.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
Josh Gibson, an AFL legend and 3-time premiership player. He's appeared on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here and Celebrity Apprentice, but today he's here to talk about a new doco called Here for the Horses, which you can catch Thursday night on Channel 7. Here's Josh.
Good morning, Josh.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I love the idea of this documentary because, it can be a tricky time of year.
Yeah, no, it certainly can. And when it came up, the opportunity to do it, I thought it was really good. I really wanted to go and have a look from an unbiased position and really, really see if this industry is here for animal welfare and their priority is to look after these
and
amazing...
what did you find?
I don't want to give too much away, but I was very impressed with what I found. At the end of the day, people don't become stable hands and muck out yards at 4 o'clock in the morning if they don't love horses. You know what I mean? There's plenty of other easy jobs.
They're not doing it for the money.
Exactly right.
They get paid bugger all.
So, no, I was really impressed and got to meet some amazing people and really just see how advanced they've become in making sure that the welfare of these horses is the number one priority. Yeah, and
you've been involved in retraining the horse. Because my great galloper, maybe you might want to get the audio ready, Dino.
No,
just retired, a bit of a lad. Legendary horse, the far lap of the bush, I used to call
Can
it.
run the fastest 10 kilometres you've ever seen. On streets as well.
It's amazing. He's just retired. And
what's his preferred track? Bitumen.
Exactly.
Bitumen, absolutely. He's just retired and he's in training to become an equestrian horse.
Drug cheat.
No, and look, that's such a big part of it because, there's so many of these horses that, they might have one start and they've still got their lives ahead of them and that rehoming and that education from the start is so important so that they can go on and become dressage horses or show jumpers and young girl out there that's at Pony Club can have this racehorse that was amazing on the track and now he's a phenomenal dressage athlete.
Well, he was amazing. I thought he had more races left in him. Well, Sam doesn't agree.
Well, you speak about re-education, Josh. I don't think that bit of a lad will require much re-education to become an equestrian or a pony horse or whatever it is for people to ride just leisurely at a festival or something because this was bit of a lad. What did you describe? The far lap of the bush.
Far lap of the bush.
This was his second last race.
They're off and racing in the Scotty Stewart Brownlow. And bit of a lad missed it by 7.
7 lengths, mate.
Missed it by 7.
Mate, he'd already retired and he hadn't told anyone yet.
He had his eyes set on being a dressage horse before he went into that barrier by the sounds of it.
Here for the Horses is on Thursday night. I'm going to say straight after Front Bar on Thursday
good
night.
leading.
Yeah, right.
Good leading.
I was waiting for it.
Well, I'm saying Michaela, your publicist, was saying 10 o'clock, and I'm just suggesting it may not be a hard 10 o'clock start, by the way. But it's a great, wonderful night of viewing on 7 on Thursday night, all right?
It
So
certainly
straight
is.
after. Hey, the Brownlow was on last night.
It was.
You've attended your fair share of Brownlows.
I wouldn't say fair share. Defenders don't get invited that much, mate. So.
Well, that's a good point, John, isn't it? You know what I mean? The whole idea that it's a midfielders award. Is that you subscribe to that, Josh?
Last defender would have been Gavin Wanganeen back in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It's yeah. Did you poll a lot of votes, Brownie?
Well, I was a forward, and
you did tick a lot of bags.
I did. We sell a lot of tickets, So you get votes in the
I've been on the end of a couple of them.
It's a very painful memory, actually, that you bring up because there was one year that you would have won, but I think you knocked someone out, so you weren't allowed to play.
Yeah. I missed
He was a rat bag on the field.
I was going to say, Josh, did you cross part? I
had to play him all the time.
And how was that?
Yeah, not enjoyable.
What sort of language would he use?
I kicked my first goal of my career on Brownie. We were playing
Not
down
many
at
people
Carrara,
said that.
and when I was at North Melbourne, and I ran down the field and someone passed the ball to me, and I kicked it.
Yes.
And I ran back down the other end, and this bloke next to me, I won't use the language because it's morning radio, but in his deep voice he goes, "Hey, you ever run down and do that again, I'll be able to flog you." And I came back down there and I just stood there like this for the rest of the game. It didn't move.
Brownie, what are you upset about? So you didn't follow your man down, and Josh just wandered in and kicked a goal.
Well, it wasn't my job to follow him down there.
Yes, it is, mate. It's your man.
Unaccountable.
He kicks him, he doesn't stop him.
That's right. If I keep chasing my man down the field, there's no use. They're pulling me out of position. So I just stay there, and then one of my teammates let me down. But Josh just a couple of best and fairest, 3 premierships, grand final weeks too. What did grand final week? How did you view grand final week when you were a player?
Look, I thought it was really important to take it all in. You know, I remember the first one, and you speak to a couple of guys there at Hawthorn because they'd already experienced it, and they're like, don't go into your shell. You've got to enjoy the parade and do all those type of things. And then as it got closer to the game, you know, really hone back in. And I would always remember grand final parade was this huge fair, and then we would get on the bus and go back out to Waverley, and there would be no one there. They didn't even know that we would train, and so you could just have this last session with no one there and just bring yourself back down before the game.
Was Clarko a nutter grand final week? Did he fire out, or he'd be calm, relaxed? What was his personality during the week?
No, he was pretty calm. He spends the whole year being a nutter, so he's ready to go. But no, look, he's got everything planned, mate. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. I think if you go there a few times, you probably get a bit more relaxed as well.
3-time premiership player?
Yeah.
It's impressive.
After you on the night after the game, what's the longest you left your jumper on?
Oh, it's on Tuesday.
That's a Tuesday. That's a fair effort.
Yeah, I remember one year Strats and I left him on for a long time. We also got the call from the MCG telling us it was time to come and pick our cars up.
He's done everything.
Remember Dusty left his somewhere too for a month.
We left him there for a good month.
Swanee, before we get to the last bit, we've got to think, but did you share in your Venn diagram, Swanee, as you would say, the jungle?
Yes.
In the intersection of your Venn diagram,
I did the first season of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Was it the worst few weeks of your life?
Oh, look, it was up there. Yeah, you know, losing grand finals are pretty tough, but eating an ostrich anus is pretty poor too. So
the worst. How long were you in there for? See, I'm the chump that did 7 weeks.
Yeah, I got
Josh.
5 weeks. Yeah, I think after round one they pulled it back.
Jeez, that's a big ostrich. 5 weeks. Just kept on going.
I was also offered ostrich anus. I may have been the first in the franchise to be offered ostrich anus. It's something that I can put on my CV.
That's a good horse.
And I said no. And I said no because I didn't want my kids to be the kids at school whose mum eats ostrich anus. I really thought I'm going to draw the line there. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Josh,
so
I didn't draw the line.
Josh, you're in pretty good nick. You go on the gym still, brother?
I go a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Now it's time for How Much Do You Bench Press with Jonathan Brown.
Yeah, Dino, you can do it today. You've got the honours. I love it. Because you set me up there, didn't you?
It's a genuine question.
West Indian descent as well.
Right.
So strong in the gym.
Hey, Josh, we need a number, man. How much do you bench?
Now? Not much.
In your prime.
My max? For 1 rep or 3?
One.
142.
Wow, that is
big. You could have said 5 kilos and you would have got the same response.
It was the highlight of my life because I was at North Melbourne and I was out benching Savroca.
I must say, 142
That's
is
a big lift.
really big because you don't look traditionally like a huge, meathead.
Deceptive.
It was funny though. We all started hammering the weights that year, and it was the AFL brought in that you could kick in straight away before we couldn't run out games. Our average playing list weight was like 95 kilos.
Hales in the insignificance. Shaq, 215 we asked him. 215 kilos.
Hey, here for the horses after Front Bar Thursday on 7 and 7+. It's been great to hang, man.
You've never been on the show before, so it's a real thrill.
Thanks for having me. I loved it.
Do you want to see what this looks like? Well, get the visuals on Instagram. Follow Chrissie Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
I've been doing a bit of putting things inside people for free. That sounds weird.
I could have used better words,
Yeah.
but it's been said.
I've got this new thing, and I'm giving it to you as a gift. If you want to do things for other people, here's a little idea. Because paying it forward makes you feel good, and it makes the other people feel good. I've got a friend who's got 3 kids, busy woman, and I can always get behind women feeding other women's kids. It's just the best thing ever. And so I went to Kmart and I bought something that I call the magic pot. The magic pot.
As in fungi? No, something else.
Fungi?
I'm thinking about something else.
I
Continue.
didn't realise there's a tobacco station at Kmart, Swanee. The
No.
magic pot.
If you go to Kmart, you will just see a normal pot with a lid. It's a big fry pan with a glass lid, but I call it the magic pot. This is how the magic pot works.
How big is it?
Like that? Like a, I can't, maybe 40 centimetres across?
Okay.
27, 30, 40, whatever. I'm
Medium.
not good with measurements.
It will
It's
be
big.
called
Diameter or circumference, please.
It will be called medium pot until I hear why it's magic.
Okay, I'm about to explain why it's called the magic pot. It refills like that.
Really?
So the first time my friend saw the magic pot, it was full of a kale and paneer curry that I made in the pot, and then I waited for it to cool down and I drove it over to her house in Coburg and I gave it to her. Magic pot. She comes over, she gives me the pot back, it's empty. The next time she sees her magic pot, it's full of slow oven roasted cherry tomato pasta.
Interesting.
This is a lot of heavy lifting on your behalf. I would have thought, by the way.
Because I love her.
Yeah, but isn't there a chance?
How long have you known her for?
15 years.
Isn't this an opportunity? I get your beautiful gift. Pot goes over to her house.
Yep.
They eat the food. Why doesn't she cook something, put back in the pot, and then bring it to you so
I
it's
like
filled
that.
for you?
I like that
And then it
idea.
just keep going back and forth. That's a beautiful. It's a very one-way relationship.
Wait. Then the next stop, just wait. I hear your point. The next time she sees it was yesterday. The magic pot arrived at her place. Me and Peg carried it in. It was heavy as hell too.
Food in it.
Because it had the potato and rainbow charred curry that I bought from the Honesty stores in your hometown, and I whipped it up into an amazing curry and I carried it in. When I arrived in there was a home-baked sourdough loaf for me, which she'd wrapped in paper and put a piece of rosemary on top. It was magnificent. So she is looking after me as well. But I give you the gift of the magic pot. And then when she's finished that curry, she'll drop it back to me.
Oh, it'll
and
be
I'll
empty,
think,
by the way.
Yeah, it will be
Knowing-
empty because
knowing
she's
her.
got 6 people that she has to cook for every night.
An abusive relationship with them.
Anyway, you can buy them cheap and just fill them up. You can also do a magic baking dish, which works the same. But in there, you would put homemade ricotta cannelloni or a lasagna, and you take it over. So there you go, the magic pot. I give that to you.
Why don't you lace it one night?
Yes, John.
Put some pot, a bit of hash,
No, just mushrooms you
sneak it
find in the
there.
bush.
Yeah.
Pop them in.
Just say it's a bit of an experiment.
I'll get you a magic pot and I'll do that.
Your whole takeaway from that was, what can I put in that pot to just spice things up a bit?
Really mess up
Why
the
don't you-
person I love.
Yeah, why don't you lace? That's beautiful.
Anyway, the
Thank
magic
you.
pot, take it, use it, makes everybody feel good.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
The podcast.
Morning, Melbourne. Welcome to your Monday. We are thrilled to have Jonathan Brown back where he belongs in here with us. It is magnificent.
Thank you, Chris.
It's been a big couple of
It's
weeks
great to be
for
back.
you.
A big couple of weeks. Jackie Charles summed it up well. He said, do you feel like you've been in a washing machine for 2 weeks? Absolutely. So my beautiful mother, Mary Muggerman Brown. No, there's been a few Mary Brown references. Oh, she'd be turning in her grave. If she heard that, she'd be furious. But we had a lot of well wishes. So thanks to everyone that reached out, Swanee, people that know me and people that don't know me. But it's been overwhelming. So my family has felt well supported.
Wonderful.
So,
Good to
thank
have
you, everyone.
It's good to have you back, mate. You ready for A big grand final week.
Absolutely,
Your week to shine.
Back on the horse. Good to be here. Grand final week. This is it's great, isn't it? Melbourne. This is what Melbourne's all about, isn't it? After a tough, because the grand final hasn't been here since 2019.
That's right.
So imagine if it had been Geelong Collingwood, the town would have been pumping. But still, Geelong
Part of
Sydney
me
would be
wishes
good.
it was, but anyway.
Back on the couch tonight. It's 6:30.
6:30 tonight.
And then what, at 8:30?
Well, I'm not sure how the encore rate, because of course the Queen's. The Queen's funeral at about 8 o'clock tonight. So all legs in the live part of on the couch tonight.
Yeah.
Have you been paying attention on it at the same time too? So you know what I mean? But
might do a bit of a knock in the ratings there, Sam. But anyway, that's okay.
Spare a thought for Patrick Cripps, who just popped up on the TV in a hoodie. Well, he hadn't slept.
He's still awake.
We spoke to him at 6:40, and he's still doing TV now. And if you missed what happened on our show, an exchange between he and Sam that will delight and surprise.
This is the Chrissie, Sam and Brownie podcast.
I want some tropical stuff.
Monday, September 9. What a week! Grand final week in this town. You know, and it started off last night with the Brownlow medal, of course, brought forward as to not to clash with the Queen's funeral. She loved the Brownlow. She didn't want that.
Yeah.
She would have wanted that.
She wouldn't have wanted that. So they brought it forward last night. And Patrick Cripps, Swanee, has won the closest Brownlow medal count in years.
How many
it was
years?
too.
What? But it's just a close one, Swanee. He came down to the last round. A lot of drama. He polled 29.
Four live chances going into the last round.
It was awesome.
Patrick Cripps, 29 votes. Lockie Neal, 28. Could have gone back to back. Is that right? Did he win last year?
No.
No, who won? Ollie
Wines.
Ollie Wines won. You know.
I'm surprised that you don't know who won the Brownlow.
No, I don't know Brownlows as well as I know Norm Smith medalists, by the way. Yell out a year.
1979.
Wayne Harms. Whatever.
That's impressive.
That's the first one everyone.
2013.
No, I start losing it.
Brian
Where's
Lake.
91?
91? 91 was Paul Deere.
I'm erect.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. All right. Speaking of that, Christine, Patrick
Bath
Cripps.
plugs are up.
Patrick Cripps won the Brownlow last night. Carlton's first winner since Chris Judd. And the sixth one in history. He joined...
Wow, it's been a long time then, hasn't it?
What? 2010? We were in Brownlow.
Yeah,
It's a long time.
It's a long time.
Whatever.
12 years.
Listen, he joined our show before 7 o'clock, Swanee, and you asked him about a Catholic fable.
You are really the face of Carlton Football Club. For me, I don't know if you're a Catholic boy, Patrick Cripps, but there's that famous story of the set of footprints on the sand and someone saying, "Why did you abandon me in my hardest time?" And Jesus said, "When you only see one set of footprints, that was when I carried you." You say to the Carlton Football Club, when you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. Now my shoulders are pretty stuffed, actually. Is there much truth to that fable?
It's been a long 9 years.
He agreed with Chrissie.
I want to attribute that to Titus O'Reilly, by the way.
From the studio to my car, there's just one set of footprints at the outside the Nova studio.
Pang isn't on air, we all know, from 6 to 7, and this is when we spoke to Cripper.
Yeah.
Normally he's playing with his wrestling figurines in the office.
But I heard the Brownlow medalist was on, so I rushed in. Am I talking to the reigning Brownlow medalist?
Pangy, good to hear from you, mate.
Oh, Patrick. I am not going to lie to you. I am erect right now. Congratulations, mate.
Make two of us, mate.
That's nice.
Obviously, just a beautiful moment shared between two Carlton.
That's nice.
And then,
nice,
of course, I'm always curious. We're always curious about the sleep. You know, you never won one, Brownie.
No.
I don't know why I need to point that out, but we're always curious about the winner.
Just to confirm, you didn't win one?
You didn't win one. And
No.
Actually, you know what? To double down,
I think it's a good...
It didn't really ever get close either. But
I finished third one year, I think.
I think a better
well done, you're the second loser.
I think a better way to really punish him for the one thing that he didn't achieve in his football career is to get him to say it. So instead of saying you didn't win one, you ask the question, how many Brownlows did you win? And then you wait for him to say...
I didn't win one.
How does that sound? Sounds weird.
Hawks.
Orkies.
More Cripper.
Have you been to sleep?
No, I haven't.
Yes.
To be honest, the last thing I want to be doing is talking to you guys, but I love you that much. But I'm chatting to you.
Patrick Cripps, what is your next radio engagement or public publicity?
I think I'm on to about 11 o'clock, and then after that, I think I'll be asleep for a good 18 hours, I reckon.
He did do a television cross and he didn't look well.
You know, you want to genuinely keep an eye. This is where you get in a bit of trouble, by the way, when you're a bit late.
There's no dump button in live TV.
Quarter to whatever his last media commitment is at about 11:45 or 5 to 11. I might be tuning in for that one.
I hope
just
he's
to
in
see
a
how
safe
he's going.
place.
John,
he's a good man, Cripper.
The last thing
I was wrapped he won it actually.
Well, there was a wonderful moment last night when
And just quietly too. I just want to say, he did reach out for a coffee 3 or 4 years ago, so I'll take some of the credit. So just took him down to the coffee shop just around the corner, Swanee. Just wanted to have a chat about a few things.
It's important he told us.
Astonishing just what happened then. I cannot believe what just took place.
Oh, God, I've missed you so much.
Have you got any advice for me? And
Yep.
Then I think the last question was, what do I need to do to win the Brownlow in 5 years' time? So I'm pretty sure that was the last question. And I told you, I laid it out for him.
What did you say?
Mapped it out for him.
Specifically, what did you say to him?
I said, you need to play well in round 23 against Collingwood. So, mate, it's amazing foresight.
When the phone call comes through...
Can't get him.
No, you can't. When the phone call from Patrick Cripps comes through to you to tell you what an enormous influence you have been in his path to Brownlow medalist, when you say thank you to him, what will it sound like?
Thank you, Cripper.
Listen, it's just turned into an impromptu talking footy because I haven't heard your views. Well, one is, by the way, Jackie Charles did want me to point out that there was a wonderful moment when Gillan McLaughlin read out the name of Christian Petrarca and he went with Petrarca, of which it cut to Christian talking to our own, he kind of turns his head to our own Max Gawn and says, it's Petrarca for F's sake, right? And it's wonderful. It's so clear.
So clear.
Like, I'm no lip reader, but it's clear. He doesn't like Petrarca. He's Petrarca.
Petrarca.
Yeah. Anyway, that's
I was surprised at that. That was a slip up by Gill because I haven't heard Petrarca
Gill's
for
at
a
the
long
end.
time.
There's Gill's at the end. It's about to it's about to be over. It's like a US president in the second term. It's all bets are off. He's just loosened right up. He's dancing with Delta. He's singing with Pete Murray.
Yes,
he's lost his mind.
It's true.
By the end of it, he's going, Karen, hurry up, sit down, will you?
Hey,
this is on the broadcast.
Listen, just while you... No, have you... Geelong are playing Sydney this Saturday in the grand final. Current day pundit. I haven't got your thoughts on it. What do you of the weekend's results and the upcoming game?
I'm not sure. I've sort of, I'll reserve my judgment till later in the week.
Say something else.
But all I'll say is footy's a winner, Sam.
And,
big.
Big.
MCG.
Hey, even
the Cats will win.
Collingwood have had the greatest season of all time, even though they're not in the grand final.
I know. Yeah, they were unbelievable. And still, they play with tremendous spirit. Didn't give up. So even though you thought that they were going to... Actually, it was hard for me to watch because my young bloke, Jackie Brown, was sick. He had gastro after Nan's funeral and then got back to Melbourne. So I spent Saturday at Cabrini Hospital for 6 hours.
Jesus.
In the emergency room. And then in a room for Jack to get rehydrated and to make sure he's okay. Whilst watching the football. So my punditry was coming from the TV, the hospital TV, with, that cord, you got the cord and then the speaker?
Yes.
But that held up against my ear so I wouldn't wake the other patients up that are in the same room.
You need a holiday so badly.
Unbelievable.
I cannot believe it.
Well, I did right at the end of it, when Jack said to me when we were being discharged, he said, Dad, I'm going to need a wheelchair. So, mate,
bam.
You've got gastro. I said, what, a wheelchair to the car? And he goes, no, I'm going to need you to hire a wheelchair for home so you could just wheel me around the house.
Bam.
Bam.
Come on, mate.
Ever wondered what happens in the studio? Check out Chrissie, Sam and Brownie on Instagram.
Mystic Chrissie.
And I'm straight away seeing the Italian flag again.
No, I'm not Italian.
I can see yellow glass.
Sorry, I don't know what that's about.
I see 3 around you, the number 3, either a hat trick or... Oh, Jesus. Are you all right, Anna?
What will she predict next?
I was wasting Anna's time and she wanted me to know, but I'm not going to waste your time, Alicia.
Alicia, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Okay, I've got two things. No, I've got three things straight away. When I hear your name, I see Sergeant's Pie Shop.
No. No.
Okay.
Well, maybe in the fact that I really don't like Sergeant's Pies.
Maybe that's it.
That's it, yeah.
Then I see fruit
fine,
and
20
veggies.
go.
I saw fruit and veggie trees.
I don't have any, but I'm thinking about growing.
Maybe that's what I'm picking up. And second, the words white with one comes to mind.
No.
You don't have your tea or
No.
coffee that way?
No, I hate it.
Did anyone you know have tea or coffee that way?
No.
The Queen.
How do you have your coffee?
Strong and almond latte.
I have written down latte here.
Oh, well, it's
Okay.
official then, yep.
I'm seeing gnocchi around you.
Yeah, I like gnocchi.
Great. And a beige kitchen.
Yeah. Oh, my God, yeah. I have a beige kitchen.
Whoa!
That's unusual. Most kitchens are white. Am I right?
Whoa.
Do I know what colour my kitchen is? You know what colour your kitchen is?
Beige.
Thanks. No. See that? Jeez, he's back fresh too. I thought he'd limp in, but
Hasn't missed it.
he's unbelievable.
Hasn't missed.
Alicia, you don't like tuna.
No, I don't.
Whoa, Mystic!
That's big. Because who doesn't love tuna?
Yeah,
See,
I
look,
love
I've written tuna and then a cross next to it.
I don't like tuna.
Look, I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Here we go.
I've written down sale of the century.
Yeah, I love... Yeah.
What
Sorry,
is
that's
that?
one, yes.
Did you love sale of the century, or did you know someone who got a Bruce and Walsh diamond stick pin?
Did you date Tony Barber?
Well, back in the day. No, I've just got like clear memories as a kid sitting on a carpet in front of a TV
Yeah.
and watching Sale of Centuries.
Yeah, it
with my mum and
means
dad.
something too.
Yeah.
I love that. When you buy a muffin, you prefer the top to the bottom.
Yes. Does anyone
Yeah.
eat the bottom? I
So-
apparently like the top. Yeah, and you pull it off and you eat it like a muffin top, for sure.
When you have a roast chicken, you like the breast.
No, I don't like chicken.
You need one now, Swanee. There
Big
you are,
swing.
digging a hole.
Come on.
Maybe that. Are you a vegetarian?
Yeah.
A lot of food focus
Well,
today.
that's the fruit trees and veggie bushes that I saw first up.
We want you
It
to win.
is.
We want you to
That's
win.
a defining thing.
Let's go.
I've written mushrooms here, and I've also
Sound
written
like you've been on them.
eggs. I've also written eggs poached.
Menacing.
You eat eggs?
Yeah, I do. I had poached eggs this morning.
Sounds
Whoa.
Come on.
Can we go non-food? Can we go non-food?
Sounds like you've been on him.
What does it mean, blue and white?
She was arrested.
No.
Is it a footy team or maybe a police? Yeah, maybe a police reference.
He's arrested for selling mushrooms.
Who do you barrack for?
She resisted arrest.
Collingwood.
Collingwood. I was going to say it's Collingwood. Okay, let's go out. Let's go out with a big one. I've nearly done all of them here. I've written Best on Ground for some reason, which is Jonathan Brown's show on Saturday night.
Friday night this week, 7 p.m.
Have you ever heard of it, or does it mean something to you? Or maybe I just wrote that down because I wanted to ask Brownie if he was going to do it this week.
I've heard of it. I've never watched it. I'm sorry, Brownie.
Oh, that's a shame.
But I've never watched it. But I did a football theatre show earlier this year, so that might be a connection to theatre.
That could be it, Best on Ground, because that is sort of a theatrical thing. Okay, let's finish with something strong. You have a white car.
No.
Oh, God
Well
damn
done,
it.
Swanee. Nailed it.
Mystic Chrissie,
Alicia.
you have a group pass.
Red car. You've got a red car.
No.
lost their license. Didn't have a car.
The Melbourne Royal Show is back. Pre-purchase tickets and save at royalshow.com.au. Kids 14 and under are free. You've got 4 free passes.
You have had a shocker, Swanee.
The vegetarian stuff was actually pretty good.
Yes,
And the
absolutely.
beige kitchen.
If you want to win show tickets.
And sergeants.
Yeah.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
You know how sometimes things roll around with alarming monotony, regular monotony, and still they knock you for 6 every time. And I'm talking, of course, about the school holidays, which happen 4 times a year. And, you know, I've had the experience of school holidays every year since Leo was in prep, and he's now in year 8. So, you know, it's blurred how long it's been. It still strikes me as a huge burden.
Yeah, it's a big undertaking.
Every single time. And I realised on Saturday, I was like, why have I been in the kitchen now for 6 hours straight cooking and making stuff? And I realised that that's what happens on school holidays. You're exposed to the day-to-day boredom and starvation of your children that ordinarily you don't have to deal with because they're at school. So in the morning, straight up Saturday, I did dippy eggs for Kit, my middle son. That's the, you know, soft-boiled eggs that you dip soldiers, dippy eggs. I'm good at those, finally. That's his favourite. I did squashed eggs for Peg, which is a hard-boiled egg cut in with look at me, I'm like a drug dealer, cut in with butter and then squashed on toast, and then a protein smoothie for Leo. By the time I cleaned up, it was morning tea time.
Protein smoothie and some chewing
Morning
tobacco.
tea time? Why are these kids having morning tea? Wouldn't it just be breakfast, lunch and dinner?
Well, you would think so. No, because they have recess at school, so they're used to it.
What are they, six meals a day, these kids?
Yes. Then I had to
They
make
get
lunch.
bored.
They
Do you
get
use
bored.
the cooking hours as an escape so you don't have to talk to your kids?
That's true.
No,
The kids
because
in the
they're
kitchen.
in there. No, they're in the kitchen with me. No, there's no escaping here. No escaping.
Your kitchen should be a panic room. You should have a hard door, like a code on it.
I couldn't agree more.
So you're like Maxwell Smart.
Then lunch
There's
rolled
6 doors.
around, and I made, inspired by my trip to the country, the Great Surf Coast, which is where you grew up, Brownie. I'd forgotten that one of my favourite foods of all time is a classic salad roll with all the bits and bobs. The onion, the beetroot, the fresh tomato, salt and white pepper is the key. So I thought I'll do that for lunch, but everyone wants different ones. So Kit wanted a boiled egg as the protein. No, he wanted chicken, roast chicken. Had to go and get a chicken. Anyway, I'm a slave to these children. I know that it's my fault. But then I think, do you know what? I thought I'm just fresh from Mary's funeral, and there were so many beautiful memories of her providing that I thought, I can't.
She guilted you in. She's laughing at you now. She's looking down at you at the moment.
Gonna save it,
laughing her head off.
That wasn't the takeaway for me from the funeral.
It was for me.
The
'cause
takeaway was get out there and live your life, and don't let these kids hold you back.
Get rid of your family like you've done this week. You're in Adelaide.
Anyway, my thoughts are with you. My thoughts are with you if you're struggling with everybody at home for the school holidays.
There's 2 more.
It
2
is
more
hard.
weeks.
There's and that's what it sort of dawned on me on Saturday. They haven't actually begun. It's just the weekend, you know.
Oh.
So school holidays are today. I understand it's so hard. The kids are so bored.
This is the Chrissie, Sam and Brownie podcast.
I just wanted to say too, it's wonderful to have you back, Brownie.
Thank you,
It's been
Samuel.
2 weeks and we've missed you, and it's just wonderful to hear your voice on the airwaves again.
It is.
It's been nice. I thought we wouldn't have got here. I thought we may have been at the funeral for the priest this morning after he took a tumble, or almost took a tumble at Mum's funeral.
Mate, that was
the
huge.
most astonishing thing you've
Did
ever
he
seen?
miss a stair? I was so far away I didn't see the fancy footwork, but did he miss a stair?
He missed a stair and then went down and almost crashed into Mum's coffin.
Did he have a
and
microphone
uttered
on?
the words shit
It was great.
to
was
about
great.
700 mourners.
We loved it.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie. Ripper Show will be back tomorrow. Chrissie, Sam and Brownie. Oh, unless it's a weekend.
Over 100.